Caleb Williams complete that pass?
Hello, friends. Welcome to day 15 of betting $100 a day every day for a year. We are into week 3 of the challenge. It's a fresh week. That means maybe we'll leave the cold streak behind us and start a hot streak. Wouldn't that be fun? 1-1 yesterday for a loss of $25.22. We hit Drake May to go under his passing yards total, but then of course lost on the Rams minus 3.5 because Caleb Williams made the biggest circus throw we've ever seen in the history of the entire league. All right, let's move on to today's action. It is, of course, the College Football National Championship, so all 3 of my plays tonight are going to be for that game. Of course, that is probably what you're going to be watching, probably going to be the only thing you're going to be watching tonight, so let's dive into it. My first play for tonight is $60 on Indiana minus 7.5, minus 105 against Miami. As of Monday morning, I actually kind of want to shop around for some lines because pretty wildly different lines for this game. I got this at BetMGM. That is the best place to bet Indiana as of this morning. If you want to bet Miami, DraftKings still has an 8.5 up there, so maybe go grab that. But if you want to bet on the Hoosiers, at least as of recording this, BetMGM is going to be the way to go. Indiana, in my opinion, a near perfect football team. I think they've kind of solved, or at least come up with a strategy that has worked for them when it comes to the transfer portal. They're not caring about, recruits that are 4-star and 5-star. They're getting older, more experienced players through the transfer portal, and it's worked for them. If you look at some kind of underlying metrics for these two teams, I think Indiana outranks Miami by a significant margin in most areas. For example, Indiana 3rd in net success rate. Miami is 22nd in net success rate. And it does kind of feel like the national championship game is where kind of Cinderella runs kind of go to die. Doesn't it feel that way? Remember TCU a few years ago? Got all the way to the national championship, then lost by like 50 points to Georgia. It kind of feels like Cinderella runs just go out the window when they finally get to the big game. So Indiana, much tougher competition this year as opposed to Miami taking on the ACC. And credit to Miami for pulling off a couple upsets in the playoffs. But I just truly think this Indiana team's on a different level, and a lot of the underlying metrics would back that up. So I'm going to lay the points with the Hoosiers in this one. Indiana minus 7.5, minus 105. I got $60 on that. I'm also going to bet $30 on Mark Fletcher Jr. under 71.5 rushing yards, minus 115 at Caesars. He is the starting running back for Miami, but he has a tough challenge ahead of him because Indiana has done a very good job of stopping the run this season. They have allowed just 3.0 yards per carry. And even better in that area of late, over their last 3 games, have actually allowed just 2.5 yards per carry. And not only does Indiana have a very good run defense, but you got to think about game script here. If Indiana is favored in this game by over a touchdown, and if you think Indiana will cover that spread, that means they're going to have a lead, maybe a double-digit lead at some point in the second half. And if that's the case, Miami's not just going to be able to hand the ball off to Mark Fletcher and hope they can make a comeback with the run game. They're going to have to turn to the air, so that could limit Mark Fletcher Jr.'s rushing attempts in the second half of the game. So with those two factors combined, I will take the under 71.5 rushing yards for Mark Fletcher Jr., and then finally, just a little fun bet. Let's bet on the Heisman Trophy winner, Fernando Mendoza, to score the first touchdown of the night with his legs. $10 on Fernando Mendoza, first touchdown at 20-1 at FanDuel. By far the best price in the market right now is that 20-1 price point. This is, I know this whole challenge is supposed to be for fun, but this bet, it's not like I have a lot of analytics to back it up. He does have 6 rushing touchdowns this season. He has a combined 14 carries so far through the first 2 playoff games. So he does run the ball, and he has run the ball in the end zone a handful of times this season. Obviously, you could just go Fernando Mendoza anytime touchdown at around, I think around plus 350, plus 360. But listen, it's a $10 bet. Let's have some fun. First touchdown. Let's see if the Heisman Trophy winner can make a statement to start the game. So Fernando Mendoza, first touchdown. Obviously, this is a rushing touchdown, not a passing touchdown. First touchdown, 20-1 for tonight's game. Those are my 3 bets for the national championship game. Enjoy the action. Best of luck. Gamble or bless. And I'll see you back here tomorrow.